That's why I'm proud to tell you that this tool is going to be 26% more compact, and it's going to be 23% lighter weight than this full-size brushed impact driver we sell in stores today.
He is exactly like you in every way, except 1/8 your size.
I shall call him Mini-Me.
Hey friends, welcome back to the garage. My name is Jim with Philly Fix, and I'm so glad you're here. Today we start the SUBCOMPACT Impact Driver Showdown series. This is going to be a multi-video series where we compare all of the impacts in front of me. Now today we're going to start with these two from Ridgid and Ryobi, TTI manufactured tools. Both of these brands, both sold exclusively at Home Depot, and both newer products from their respective brands. Of course, the Ryobi HP line is maybe 2+ years old at this point. There is a 4-mode impact driver that's slightly larger than this one, but this one right here is modeled as the compact impact driver. It's modeled PSBID01CN. These tool brands got to do something about their model naming. And then you've got the Ridgid SUBCOMPACT. This is a brushless model, again, relatively new. And the model number on this one is under the battery, and it is R8723. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the specs. We're going to weigh these things, measure them, see how they stack up as far as physical dimensions and the features they have. Then we're going to put them through a series of tests. Now the tests I'm going to perform on these models of impact driver aren't going to be the same as the ones I did on the premium impacts. These are a little bit smaller, a little less powerful, and so I'm not going to put them through the stump test, and we're just going to do it a little bit differently, a level of testing that's a little more appropriate for these impacts, but still a little beyond what you might want to do day to day because we do want to push these to their limits. So I'm going to stop talking and get right into the testing and comparison. Let's compare the weights of these two tools. One thing I want to mention, I'm using the batteries for comparison and testing purposes that came with each of the tools in the kit. Now in the case of the Ryobi, I'm a little bit disappointed. This tool came with the 1.5 amp hour non-HP battery. This is an HP tool, and they do make a 2 amp hour HP battery that is lightweight, about, actually, I think, pretty much the same exact dimensions as the battery that it came with. So in my mind, you know, Ryobi cheaped out. They really should have packaged this battery with it, but they didn't. So we're going to go with this one for the testing. So let's weigh the Ryobi with that battery on it. Looks like we get 2 pounds and just over 12 ounces for the Ryobi. And then in the case of the Ridgid, you know, they make the max output 2 amp hour battery, but not what it came with. It came with just this one labeled lithium. So we're going to weigh it with that. And that comes in just a few ounces later at 2 pounds and almost 11 ounces, 10.8. So the Ridgid is slightly lighter. Okay, and looking at dimensions, we've got the Ryobi from the front of the collet to the back of the tool itself is roughly 5 3/8 inches. And the width of the head at its widest point is roughly 2 3/8 inches. So that's your Ryobi. The Ridgid is significantly smaller. This comes in at just 4 3/4 inches long and 2 1/4 inches wide. So, you know, you can tell by looking at them, significantly smaller top on this. But again, you know, due to the size of the batteries, they've both got very large bases on them. This is going to be a little more subjective. I'm going to tell you what I think about as far as ergonomics and holding it. You know, this Ridgid isn't too bad. You know, the rubber feels okay. The overmolding's okay. For me, for my size hands, they're average hands. That's an okay grip. There's something about this rubber here that I really don't like. It just, you know, it kind of attracts dust. It's got like some sort of texture to it that just looks dirty. I mean, this is brand new and it already looks dirty and dusty. So I'm not a fan of the aesthetics of the rubber. As far as the grip, you know, I think I prefer the Ridgid, and the reason being the handle's thicker on this, which makes sense because it has to accommodate the Ryobi stem on the battery. This is the blessing and the curse of Ryobi. You know, they're able to advertise 25 years of battery compatibility, but it also handicaps the size of their tools. So I'd say ergonomics-wise, I like the Ridgid a little bit better. As far as bit insertion and removal, on the Ryobi, one-handed insert, and it springs out. So that's what I would call a one-handed collet. I know somebody's going to say, well, Jim, I can use one hand on all the collets, but you know what I mean. You can just push it in without pulling the collar out, and then when you pull it out, it springs out. Let's see what the Ridgid has. Again, one-handed insertion, and it springs to remove. So these are pretty similar products, not surprising. Again, both manufactured by TTI. One of the things that's frequently advertised with these compact or subcompact tools is how lightweight they are and, you know, easy to handle.
Allow us to make the most ergonomic, most compact tools in their class.
So for this first test, I'm going to drive 5 number 10, 2.5 inch long screws into this OSB. I'm not going to stop the timer as I drive them, and that's going to factor in how well I'm able to maneuver the tool. Now you might say, Jim, you know, that incorporates human error and it might not be a fair test if you do a little bit better with one tool versus the other. And yeah, that's true, but that's partially the point. And also I'm going to do enough tests that the weight of this test isn't going to be such that I really think it's going to swing the results one way or the other. So with that being said, let's get started with these number 10 screws. Ridgid, here we go. Quarter inch by 6 inch lags. Hey, real quick guys, I opened a merch store. The link is in the description below. This is my personal favorite t-shirt out there on the merch store because if you're watching a video and your favorite brand loses, it's mandatory that you go down to the comment section and say you used the wrong battery. So go check out that merch store. Again, link down below. Please hit the like button if you're enjoying this video so far or you find it useful, but let's get right back to that testing. So I think most would agree with me that a 3/8 inch lag is probably a little outside of what you should be doing with a subcompact impact driver and probably getting to the edge of what you should be doing with an impact driver in the first place. At some point you should be switching over to an impact wrench, but we're going to push these a little bit and try this 3/8 inch by 6 inch lag in our OSB. Okay, I don't drill with my impact drivers, but I know a lot of you do, so we're gonna do a 1/2-inch titanium twist bit in this standard 2x lumber. I'm gonna do 3 holes each with the 1/2-inch twist bit, and I will only time the drilling time. I'm not gonna count me switching from hole to hole. All right, and I won't start the timer till it starts, biting into the wood with the bit. Okay, finally we've got a little 3/4 inch Irwin speed bore bit. We're gonna do it in our 4x4 non-pressure treated wood, and we're gonna consider the hole done when the body of the impact comes in contact with the wood. Here we go. Okay, so let's take a minute here and talk about preferences. I think I prefer the Ridgid to the Ryobi. To me, it feels like the Ridgid has a little bit less vibration. It might be a hair quieter. It's definitely more compact on top, and it's slightly lighter than the Ryobi. I think I'm going to do a future video where I compare using this battery on the Ryobi to using the compact HP battery. I really would like to see how that would turn out. But as far as preferences, I think I prefer the Ridgid, and I really think the Ridgid did a little bit better. I haven't edited the video yet, but you will see the results on your screen. And of course, we're going to put these up against the Metabo HPT, the Makita, the Milwaukee, and the DeWalt Atomic as we go through this series. All the tests are going to be the same, so I'm going to have a leaderboard. You're going to be able to compare results from video to video. But hey, again, please hit that like button if you found this enjoyable or useful. Please consider subscribing. All of those things help YouTube to tell other people to try to watch this video. It comes up in their recommended videos and things like that, and that helps me continue to do them. So I hope you'll stick around and keep an eye out for those next videos. Again, check out the merch store. Link is in the description below. Thanks so much for watching. My name is Jim with Philly Fixed, and God bless.
Hello, I'm Jim Davis.